What's up, everyone? Raylo from Raylo Vapes here to do another review for you guys. Sorry about the glare on the glasses. My contacts had an eye blowout yesterday, so I'm going to be wearing glasses for the next couple reviews. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the new Godzilla V2 RDA, this 28.5 millimeter RDA from Youde. That's what we're talking about today. All right, so this is what's up for review. Let me go ahead and take a hit on this real quick. This thing is a big flavor cloud making machine. So before I go any further, let's go ahead and dive down up close, take a look at this thing. I'll take it apart, show you all the insides, show you the little neat things that come with this that you haven't quite seen in other RDAs like it. Man, the glare is really bad on my glasses. But anyways, can't do anything about that right now. So let's go ahead and dive down up close and take a look at this real quick. All right, you guys, here we go with the brand new Godzilla V2 RDA from Youde Technologies. This is a 28.5 millimeter RDA. And as you can see, we have an awesome laser etched Godzilla logo there with Godzilla kind of in the fetal position. So maybe it's a little baby Godzilla. But let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. So we have 3 air holes. Quite generous air holes, actually. I want to say these are about 2 by what? Probably, yeah, probably about 2 by 6. 2 by 6 is my guess on this. We also got these heatsink fins here. Let's take a look at the bottom real quick before I open this thing up. So as you can see here, we have our adjustable copper contact pin. We have 2015 V2. This is serial number 4 with the Youde logo right here. I do believe the production model, since this is one of the prototypes that I received, it says V2 here, but don't quote me on that. I haven't actually seen the production version of this yet, but from what I've been told, the insides aren't going to change. Just maybe the logo is going to shift just a little bit. So let's take a look at this from the top down. So first things first, we have this massive drip tip here. And if you take a look inside, they went and barreled it out. So you could see the grooves in there, kind of like they rifling, if you're used to guns. They claim this is for flavor enhancement. I really can't tell you any different since everything I've been using. I also have the stainless steel one that has the exact same thing. So I haven't really been able to use this with any other type of drip tip, so I can't really tell you if it's flavor. But you do get decent flavor with this big giant atomizer. And they have these little cutouts here. Not sure if they're going to stick with this style or if they're going to stick with something like this. But this one isn't rifled. So let's go ahead and open this sucker up here. So you have your top cap here with your heatsink fins, your single O-ring, and then you have these cutout grooves. Dropping stuff. Pulling it twisted. The way that these work here now is you can either open up all 3 or you can open up 2, and you can switch which 2 you really want to open up. So say you want to have a coil here and here, or you want to have a coil here and here, you want to have a coil here and here. So there is no single coil option, only dual or tri-coil option here. Let me go ahead and take this top cap off. I guess that's not really a top cap, it's the barrel, but whatever. So we took that off. Now let's take a look at the inside here. Now you might be wondering, what is this on the inside of the deck? This is a ceramic base. So they threw the ceramic in there. This is also to help with flavor. Also keeps it off the metal. So you do have the option of taking this out if you want and just using it this way and having a super, super, super deep juice deck. So you can stick a whole bunch of wick in there, get a whole bunch of juice in there if you want to. You don't have to, but the option is there. This is removable, but you gotta figure out the right way of putting it back on. Nope. I'm being stubborn. Of course it's gotta be stubborn while I'm making the video, right? Right. Get in there. There it goes. Slowly but surely. All right. So there we go. Now, when you're looking out here, you have a tri-coil situation. So you got your 4-post. Of course, you'd have coil here, coil here, coil here. You have a 2.5mm center post hole. Quite generous, so that way you can fit 22 gauge 3-piece in there. And I believe these are about 2 millimeters, or maybe 1.5 millimeters on the negative. So center is your positive, outsides are your negatives, and those are all milled into the deck, all held on by these 2 O-rings. So there you go. That is the insides, the inner workings of the new Godzilla V2 by Youde. So let's go ahead and put this back together. We'll jump back into regular mode and I'll show you how it vapes and we'll talk about some more. All right, so be right back. All right, you guys, so we are back. So now you got to see the inside. You got to see the ceramic insert on the inside. You got to see the post holes, the airflow control. You got to see the rifling on the drip tip. You got to see all that good stuff, the copper center, adjustable pin, and yada, 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 yada. So let me go ahead and take another vape real quick. So, as you can see, lots and lots of clouds. This does create a lot of clouds. Flavor-wise, I get decent flavor on it. But before I start rambling, let's go ahead and talk about the specifics of said device. As of right now, this is a prototype. So there is nowhere that has this in stock yet. So if you are a business or a vendor, a wholesaler, distribution company, you might want to go to www.yoursig, that's YOURSIG, or CIG.com. That's Youde's official site, and order some of these for your shop. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look. This is all made from 304 stainless steel with the ceramic well and the Delrin drip tip. Size, it is 45.5 millimeters tall and 28.5 millimeters in diameter, 62 grams, 510 threaded. And yeah, let's see what else they said here. You know, wide bore drip tip with the rifling, deep juice well, pure copper conductive parts inside, and 2.5 millimeter post holes for easy wire installation. That's pretty much all the info I can find on this product at the moment. So let's go ahead and talk about pros and cons, what I like, what I dislike about this. So let's go ahead and talk about the cons first. Cons, I don't necessarily know if the ceramic deck is necessary. While not really being a con, it is just an extra part that's there. I don't think it needs to be, and over time it might end up getting quite nasty and dirty. So you can remove it if you're not a fan of it, so it can come out. It doesn't hamper anything. It doesn't hamper performance. It doesn't hamper flavor or anything like that. It just seems like an item that's not necessary. What other cons might I have on this? I guess if you want to say there's no single coil mode. So for some of you guys, that might be a con, but I don't see the point of getting a 28.5 millimeter device and putting a single coil in there. Seems like a lot of wasted space, and you would probably lose out on flavor. Something like this, it asks for 3 coils. I'm putting 3 coils in there. I want to take up as much of the space as possible, make as much vapor, make as much flavor in there by reducing the chamber by adding enough cotton and coils in there to do that. Any other cons that I might have on this? Not necessarily. It's a pretty foolproof RDA. Let's go ahead and talk about the pros then. There are quite a few pros when it comes to this. I do like this drip tip. I like the rifling in there, whether it be a gimmick or if it actually does help with flavor. I really can't tell personally. I also really like the stainless steel drip tip that you can buy as an extra. I think that looks really slick on there. It would be cool to see this just be the actual drip tip though. Maybe get rid of the Delrin one. But Delrin one looks nice, and maybe you like that. Maybe it'll keep the heat from, you know, going to your lips. So I don't know. That's a personal pro slash con combination right there. Another pro would be the heatsink fins. It's always smart to have heatsink fins on your RDAs, especially something like this that's going to push a lot of power. So if you're going to heat this up, you're going to keep it nice and cool. So I guess with the heatsink fins and then the Delrin insulator drip tip going up towards your lips, you're not going to burn yourself as much. Having the dual to tri-flow, airflow thing going on there, that's another good pro. So you do have a little bit of universal usage with this depending on what you want to build. Having the 2.5 millimeter center post hole is another big bonus for me, so that way I can use 22 gauge wire, probably easily use 20 gauge in there. I still have plenty of room in there, and I could still fit 3 20 gauge coils in there if I wanted to. Or say you want to do 16 gauge, you could probably fit 2 pieces of 16 gauge in there if you wanted to. Just be safe, people. Another pro is the deep juice well. So even with the ceramic in there, you still have a very, very deep juice well. You can fit a lot of wick in there. And if you rip out that ceramic insert, you're getting almost another like third more juice capacity. So you can fit even more. I could probably take 3 full strips of the Japanese cotton and just shove it all in there and just get a whole bunch. When I filled it up, this is a 30 ml bottle with the dripper. I got at least 4 dripper full of juice inside this without flooding it out. So that lets you know how much actually you're getting in there. Another pro is the copper adjustable center post or contact post for your 510 connection. It's copper and it's adjustable. Both things are perfect. I think that should be something in almost all RDAs and tanks. So they have that there. The logo, I dig the logo. That's cool. Godzilla in the fetal position. I think that's kind of a cool looking logo right there. Might just be me. I'm a dork. I love Godzilla theme goodness. So that was another cool thing for me. What else might be a pro on this? I mean, it hits hard, so you do have the conductivity. You don't have much voltage drop between the atomizer and the mod itself. You have plenty of room to build. You have plenty of room to throw a bunch of wick in there. You have big post holes. You have big posts. The negatives are milled onto the deck, so you don't ever have to worry about those spinning on you. Everything on this was just machined very well, fits together very nicely, and I think it looks and performs amazingly well. So yeah, that's pros and cons. Now, price-wise, I can't really give you a price on this yet since it's not anywhere online other than wholesale through Youde at the moment. But my guess is it's going to be under 50 bucks, and it'll probably be somewhere in that $20 to $30 range, which seems to be about the average of what Youde's been coming out with. But pretty sure it's not going to be over 50, and expect it somewhere in the $30 to $40 range is my guess. Might be less, but it won't be more, I'm sure. So yeah, there you go. That is the review on the new Godzilla V2 by Youde Technologies. Now, if you want to stick around and watch the build portion on this, where I show you how to do this exact build that's in here right now, which is a 7-wrap 22 gauge nichrome that's coming in at like a 0.1 and 2, I want to say. My own meter is not working oh so well at the moment. So that's my guesstimate on this. If you want to see how to build this, how to wick this, go ahead and stick around. If not, this is where we part ways. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this review and you go out there, you get this Godzilla V2 if you're a 26-650 guy like I am, and you enjoyed as much as I've been enjoying it. This is definitely one that I've been using. Anytime I come home, I grab this setup, the Gladiator V2 with the Godzilla V2, and it just kicks some ass. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, vape on. All right, you guys, here we go with the up-close build portion of this video. What we're going to be doing today is a tri-coil 7-wrap 22 gauge nichrome, which is what I've been really enjoying. And I'm also going to be using the Coil Master coiling jig kit that I got from coilmaster.net. So enough of that. This is a 3 30-seconds, or probably what, like 2.5 millimeters, I'm guessing. So first things first, you feed it through this hole right here, and I feed it all the way to the end, and then I like to turn it this way, just force of habit. You're supposed to be going this way, that's why it angles that way, but I go against the grain here, people. We're not doing what they tell me to do. All right, let's go ahead and do 7 wraps. That first one's always the hardest, going in the wrong direction. So there we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's a little bit tricky to do on camera, and I apologize if that was horribly blurry the whole way through. But basically that just catches your wire and you just twist it and you get these perfect coils. Look at that thing. It's so perfect. You see how perfect that is? Look at just a perfect little uniform coil. So anyways, enough of that. Let's go ahead and fix this up just a little bit, get it to how I like it to be. All right, so here we go. This is the way I like it to look. So we feed one into the positive here, and I kind of bend these up a little bit like that, make it a little bit easier for me. So one in the positive, one in the negative, just like that. And I pull a little bit more into the positive and less in the negative because we're going to bend this so that way it looks perfect when we adjust everything. Let's tighten down that one. And of course, to make things a little bit quicker and easier, I went ahead and made the other coils off camera because you don't need to watch me make 3 identical coils here. So there's that one. We'll bend this up. And we got our next one here. Same thing. We'll bend these wires so that way it makes it a little bit easier to install. Get in there. There we go. All right, and then our last one here. So same thing, bend these up and insert them. And there we go. Hey, that one went in pretty darn easy. Oh, a little too much there. There we go. And then we will tighten down our center here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off these leads and be right back. All right, so now we got something that looks like this tragedy right here. So next step would be to take this and put this on a device and take out our ceramic tip tweezers and get these all worked and perfect. All right, so we'll be right back. Okay, so here we go. We got our tweezers, we got our coils. So let's go ahead and start firing these up, get them red hot. Just like so. And then just take our tweezers, which makes this a little bit easier. We fire it, get it nice and hot. And it just moves ever so slightly. Let's go ahead and do the same with these. And of course, just to make sure, you guys don't do this unless you're using ceramic tweezers. Don't do this with stainless steel or you will short it out and break your wires. Oh geez, hopefully any of that was on camera. All right, let's go to the last one here. right, so there we go. Those look fairly straight to me. This one's a little wonky, but you know, it happens. It's still gonna fire just fine. I might try and clean this up a little bit off camera, but that's pretty much what you're looking for on this build. All right, so let me go ahead and throw this back on the ohm reader and we'll go ahead and wick it. All right, so we got ourselves some Japanese cotton here. Let's go ahead and cut ourselves a strip. All right. Now what we're going to do is we'll twist one end of our cotton here and just feed that on through to our coils. If it wouldn't be so stingy. Get in there. Get in there, cotton. Well, why don't you want to go in your home? Oh, shucks. Let's go ahead and trim that real quick, since it wants to be a bastard right now. Cut. There we go. Let's try this one more time. There we go. Now it feeds. So just go ahead and pull this all the way in, and of course I always go a couple times back and forth just to make things a little bit easier. And a little bit of video magic here, of course. I cut the other strips of cotton off camera because, again, that's not something you guys really want to see, I'm guessing. It's not that important. Okay, so there we go. There's our other piece, and our last piece here. Probably need to trim this. And through it went. And by doing this, it sort of thins it out just a little bit, so that way you don't have to deal with having it too restricted inside your coil. Let's go ahead and cut off some excess here, and you can keep a lot of cotton. It's a very deep juice well. And of course, like I was showing you before, you could take out the ceramic and have it even deeper if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and shove all this cotton on in there. And like I always do, I always try and leave a gap underneath my coil so that way air can circulate all throughout the build deck. So there you go, you guys. That is how you would build the Gladiator V2 monster massive deck. And I want to say this is probably going to be in the point... Oh, you know, let's go ahead and check it. I don't really trust my ohm meter that much anymore. It's kind of old, but let's see what it says. It says it's a 0.1. Yeah, it probably is a 0.1. Somewhere around there. Probably about a 0.1 to a 0.15 or something like that. So there you go, you guys. That's the build. And if you're wondering how this performs, this is the exact same build that I used throughout the whole review process. So I'm going to go ahead and make my review right now on it, actually. So there you go, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this portion of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the review, and hopefully you enjoy this device if you do happen to pick it up. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to leave them down below in the comment section, and I will try and get back to them as soon as I can. So thank you so much for watching, you guys, everyone. And as always, vape on.